Welcome one, welcome all once again to Pit Road Productions. The brand new season of the Almeida Racing League kicked off last week, and it was certainly a fun night of racing at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. But we're here for round two at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben, a tight and twisting circuit in Germany that has been around since the mid-1990s or so, playing host to DTM and the World Touring Car Championship and the like. It's going to be a challenging circuit in these Formula 1600s. Bringing it to you live here on the Pit Road Productions YouTube channel and the Almeida Racing Academy YouTube channel. It is myself, Reese Gardner, with Daniel Zippy Salmon alongside me in the commentary box and producing behind the scenes. Yes, Zippy, this is certainly a track near and dear to my heart. It was the subject of one of my super serious track guide videos some years back, but I've warmed to it in recent years. It provides good racing.
Yeah, certainly it's not one that I'm too familiar with, but I have seen it out and about, and indeed the racing does always tend to be very, very good as well. It does sound like we may have a little bit of retreating us in terms of the race schedule today, so bear with us on that. We're going to be in for some surprises as well. But before we get too excited, let's indeed see where we've been and where we're going.
Yes, well, we are only 2 rounds in here, so Motorsport was last week, Oschersleben this week. We're going to Lime Rock Park in 7 days' time before going to Le Denon for round 4, a track that has played host to quite a few Almeida Racing League races. Tsukuba, another track we're very familiar with Virginia International Raceway playing host to round 6. Then we hop back across to Japan to go to Okayama, and then back to North America again, racing at Montreal Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for round 8. Navarra playing host to round 9. Then Rudskogen, round 10, before Brands Hatch, an endurance round, brings the season to a close. The week after, there will be a special event from us right here at Pit Road Productions. So, keeping an eye on proceedings out there. Qualifying is now underway, so let's see who gets pole position. More importantly, let's see who's on top in the points at the moment.
Indeed, let's take a look here, starting with the Academy overall. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone and turned it down to 3 different splits, and right now Ian Joyner is leading the charge by 2 points. Jeffrey Atkins and Kieran Scully just 2 points behind, tied for P number 2. Brian Sabelski, we saw him last season. I think he made it to split number 2 this season, and he's doing very well. He's there in P4 overall with Timothy my apologies there, getting a hang of his pronunciation. He's here in top split, making a debut, and he's currently in P5 overall for the Academy. But Reese, take a look in at the Split 1 Premier Classings as well.
Indeed, Ian Joyner getting the most points from round 1. Timothy Ng certainly proving that even though it was his first race with us here at the Almeida Racing Academy, he is here to win. Kevin Lau is really gelling nicely with the F1600. He's been fast, and he is fast in qualifying at the moment, currently setting the fastest time. Jonathan Hobson, lots of pace at round 1, but missed out on getting those maximum points. Zoltan Zomotor rounding out your top 5 in the Premier class, but not the only class we have today. The club class is headed up by Philip Falcon, who is another driver who has seen a bit more success in the F1600 so far than he has in past seasons. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that momentum going with Anthony Ori, Marcus Vorpal, Michael Cords, and Rich Meesters rounding up the top 5 for Split 1 in the club class. Well, qualifying, as we said, underway, and looks like everyone is looking for a bit of slipstream out there. You won't have much trouble finding one because we have 38 cars out on track right now. It's a massive field here with those condensed splits, and it really goes to show when you put that many cars around Oschersleben, it gets a bit cramped.
It definitely does indeed. These guys are fighting for a bit of real estate, and currently, I'd say our favourite Dutchman, just to poke at Bas van der Lee, but certainly one of our resident Dutchmen here, Leon Bentvelsen. He is currently leading the charge here, currently in P1. Actually, when you said that Kevin Lau was in the lead, he was indeed in the lead, but literally it was down beyond a thousandth of a second separating them, and right now he's been pushed back to P number 8. Tyler Harker, though, we've seen him in previous seasons. He's in the club class yet again, and not only that, he's in P5 overall. But we are going to go here with an onboard lap very shortly before taking a look here at the merchandise that's going to be available from the Almeida Racing Academy.
Indeed, fantastic stuff from livery in the Almeida Academy, which we will bring to you very shortly. But first, how about an onboard view here with Leon Bentvelsen through the final corner? Very important to get the exit right out of here. because you've got the long start-finish straight coming. This is the Grand Prix layout on iRacing in particular, which uses the original fast turn 1 here. It's a very committed entry, but there's some big speed bumps behind the curbs here that you do not want to hit. Keep those brakes going, let the rear end rotate you around through Hotel, turn 2, and then aim for that sausage curb and get the run out. Turn 3 is a lot faster than it looks, I've found. You brake a lot later than you think, and you go right to the inside because there's a bit of banking that can help to launch you through the corner. Then here comes the triple, as Bent Velsen seems to be encountering a bit of traffic now. This is where the circuit kind of doubles back on itself. You're just trying to keep the speed up between these 3 apexes, and right after that third one, you're braking for Hasseröder, which is this long, never-ending left-hander through a chicane that is just about flat out in slow cars. A little bit of a lift there for McDonald's, the right-hander, onto the back stretch, and then we'll be running our way through to the last 4 turns of this circuit. Very complicated first half of this track, but the second half is pretty simple, at least on paper. You're braking very late, carrying the speed here through this fast, well, I don't know if it's a chicane or an S-bend or a couple of isolated kinks or what. There is an isolated kink here at the penultimate corner, pit entry off to the left-hand side. You can use all of the curb there on the exit, and then through the final corner. Very difficult to get the exit right, because once again, a little bit faster than it looks, especially in these F1600s. Lap around Oschersleben takes about 1 minute and 32 seconds in these cars.
And yeah, as we're continuing to do this lap, a lot of things is starting to mix up in the qualifying as well. Certainly, we've just seen Manuel Hofer. He's going to manage to put it up into P number 10. Rupesh Manani currently leading the charge. But before we get too excited, let's take a look here at the Almeida livery merch.
Indeed, still on pre-order. You can get your orders in, and well, there's some fantastic bits of attire that are available for pre-order. Free shipping for orders over $100 as well. So if you want to get both the vintage brand tee and the emblem tee plus a cap, that'll easily get you in the territory of that free shipping. And there is also the 3/4 zip, which I would certainly love at the moment, it being rather cool here in Australia. You could get yourself the brand quarter zip and the cap and qualify for that free shipping. Keep in mind, pre-order is still on.
That would indeed be fantastic as well, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely loving it indeed. But we are indeed checking it out here, and Rupesh Manani is currently he's currently leading the charge. Managed to make it into the 131s, ladies and gentlemen. The only driver to do so far with 131.98. Incredible pace there. Loving the paint job as well. But we do also have a few new drivers here today as well. Let's give these guys a little bit of a shout out here as we try and find them here in the qualifying standings as well. Luis Rebellino, he's made an appearance here for round 2. Josh Nessel making an appearance as well. Who else we got in this list here, Reese? Where are we going? Keep going. Darren Sharples, a fellow Brit. Specifically surprised he's here because, ladies and gentlemen, not being funny, Formula 1 qualifying's on right now, so fair play to you. That might be why the chat is a little bit quiet, but we do indeed have Fluja Belzum there in the Pit Road Productions chat. Thank you for joining us today. I felt sure we had another one who was new as well, and I've already forgotten who
Josh
it is.
Nessel?
Yeah, I mentioned Josh Nessel. I felt sure there was one more, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Tuca. Tuca Valcaseo making a return here as well. That's why.
Yes, Tuca Valcaseo is one of our flying Finns here. Has competed for the last few seasons, but was absent for a few rounds last season and wasn't here for round 1. So let's see what he can do. He's currently down in 22nd place at the moment. Zoltan Zomator front and center here. And it's rare. Hello. It looks like he had a little bit of a whoopsie moment there with someone spinning in front of him. That's going to not do any favors for his qualifying lap, but good to see Zoltan out there. One of the drivers who it seems the F1600 suits him a bit better than some of the other cars that we've run in the Almeida Racing League in the past. Stephen Saunders down in 33rd position at the moment, but only 1,000th separating himself from Andrei Svoboda, so any improvement is going to send him up the order here.
Indeed, it will. Just going through the drivers who have decided to grace us with the driver camera. And indeed, this man knows what time of the year it is. Brian Lane's deciding that indeed, happy 4th of July for our American viewers. He is patriotic, and he is currently in P number 14 and 11th place in the Premier class as well.
Nice to see. Happy 250th birthday, America. Well, looking a bit further around the field, Kevin Lau, who is, I think, is emerging as a championship contender this season, actually won the first race of last round at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And he's currently sitting in P4 in the standings, was P1 early on. And if he gets this slipstream right, he's right behind Ben Velsen, in fact, so he should be able to. Let's see if he can get a little bit further to that front row. Rich Meesters is out there as well, and in 15th right now, just behind Brian Lenz.
Yeah, we also have our resident Dutchman, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, our favourite Dutchman. Let's go with that. Sorry, Leon, as well. As I say, we've got Aura making an appearance here in the chat as well. But Bass Van der Lee, let's give him a shout out as well. He did give us a tip off that indeed the session may be on a little bit of a curveball today. So thank you, Bass. And we did indeed tell him to go and get himself on the podium. And right now, he's currently sat there in P number 2. I say that P number 2. I think he's gone out, done his work, and decided, you know what, that is enough for me as well. But keep an eye on this man. He's going to be one to keep an eye on. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this car before, and many a time, a former Almeida Racing Academy, indeed Almeida Racing League champion, Mr. Ian Joyner, a resident Brit. He's currently there in P7 overall, and P6 in class. Tyler Harker sneaking his way into 3rd spot there as got one of the cars just parked just after the finish there. One of the cars, indeed, is say that Kevin Lau is going to move himself up into P3 overall.
And Joyner puts himself back into P6 after a couple of other improvements from drivers around him. Joyner wasn't quite at the tippy top in qualifying at most sport either, but he was able to outrace those around him. So I'm expecting him to at least try and do the same here today. Looking at Rich Meesters, still P15 at the moment and waiting for that opportunity. Timothy Young has managed to put himself into 2nd place, 131.809. We're down into the 131.7s now with Rupesh Paneni putting down a fantastic 131.749. So it looks like this is going to be mighty competitive at the front.
Indeed, it definitely is, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little bit of a connection issue there for Timothy Ing. Keeping an eye, though, throughout the field. Joe Haas, he's currently pulling off the track, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like got a Tommy Hilfiger logo on the front of that car. Fair play. You got to dress nice, smell nice, and all of that jazz. But right now, Philip Falcon, he's currently doing very well here in the Split 1 Club class. Actually, a higher level of form than we've ever seen him before. Indeed, he's currently P3 in Club class for the qualifying. Tyler Harker up in P5 overall. Indeed, Joe Haas, who we saw just a moment ago, he's just ahead in P10 overall, and indeed P2 in the Club class as well. This could be a good opportunity for the Canadian driver, Philip Falcon. Certainly, on iRating, ladies and gentlemen, we have got such an incredible variety of iRating through this split. You mean, obviously, you've got the likes of Kane Halliburton, who is rocking 8,603. If we exclude him from the standings, though, you got the likes of Timothy Ing, he's 33.79, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Joyner, 6,188. We've got a couple of people here still with the showing of 1350 iRating, which means they've basically not really done any officials by chance. But we've got quite the variety here, and I do love the fact as well, the Almeida Academy was done purely on qualifying pace. We actually have one driver in here, 922 iRating, and despite that, they're able to make it into top split. So fair play to them. They have been working hard for some success.
They certainly have, and the drivers who have been working hard in this car have been rewarded with success in qualifying. Brian Lenz and Philip Falcon getting into the top 10 overall as qualifying comes to its conclusion. Lovely panoramic view of the first couple of corners there. We'll see if everyone's able to get through them cleanly. It's time for race 1 here with Rupesh Paneni on pole positions. Got Timothy Ing alongside him with Leon Bentvelsen and Bas van der Leij on row 2. Kevin Lau in 5th with Tyler Harker taking the club class pole. Ian Joyner and Brian Lenz on row 4. Then it's Philip Falcon and Jens Carr who round out your top 10.
Indeed, as we have a look here at P11, that is going to be Dominiques Conservesius with Joe Haas in P number 12. Having a look at 13th, we've got Luis Revellino, and the grid is frozen again. That is excellent. With Manuel Hoffer in 14th. Ilariano takes 15th with Rich Meesters in 16th. Jacob Sipley takes 17th, the resident pole, with Jeremy Childers in 18th. Kevin Adrian takes 19th with Nathan Safarian, who's back on driver cams, ladies and gentlemen. At least he was earlier. He's there in P number 20.
In 21st, it'll be Tuca Valchiasua with Alfredo Cruciani alongside him. Josh Nessel in 23rd with Serenos Brusca in 24th. Michael Cords and Todd Bonesteel on row 13 with Anthony Ori and Jeffrey Westland 27th and 28th. Top 30 rounded out by Darren Sharples and Kemel Kasim. Then it's Zoltan Zomator in 31st place alongside Michael Tan, Andres Svoboda, Marcus Vorpal, KF Lai, Stephen Saunders, Charles Krasic, Norman Rinner. They will be your 38 cars taking to the start. And, well, it's such a big grid that Norman, all the way at the back, is actually starting around the apex of Turn 1. Let's look, the final corner, sorry. Let's look at the run into Turn 1, though, as Rupesh Paneni leads us away. Green flag flies, and race 1 is go for the Almeida Racing Academy here at Oschersleben. Already getting into the slipstream. Everyone's going to fan out as they try to get into Turn 1 properly. Paneni defending the lead from Timothy Ng for the moment. And looks like a clean run through Turn 1 for drivers in the midfield, though there are positions shifting around. No one seems to have come together yet. I don't want to curse anybody. Rupesh Paneni continues leading the way into Turn 3.
Well, certainly there's going to be a few people who are definitely going to likely get into a mix here. But looking through the current positions here, the hardest charger does appear to be 2 positions so far. And right now, if I head a little bit further back, that's actually Jacob Seekley, ladies and gentlemen, who looks like he's changed some good solid moves so far. Right now in the club class, so Tyler Harker, he's currently there applying a good amount of pressure there to the back of Brian Lenz. Indeed, Lenz there almost finding the nose cone of Harker pretty much on his exhaust pipe. It was almost going to be a cork in a bottle kind of scenario here. As you can see, really applying a little bit of aggression here is Harker. Again, he's somebody who we've seen. He showed up with the Spec Racer 4s, and he has potential to be even faster, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. Had some coaching from one of the Almeida coaches as well, of Connor Bell.
It's on for the lead, side by side between Ng and Paneni, and once again Rupesh manages to keep him behind, but Leon Bentvelsen decides to join the fight now. Bas Vanderlei, Kevin Lau in the red car behind, having to back out of any potential moves there, with Bentvelsen certainly being eyes forward right now. Bit wide for Vanderlei, speaking of, and almost opens the door to Ian Joyner, but manages to stay ahead. It looks like there's going to be a lot of battling for the lead of this race. You see them up ahead. And that's a spin for Kevin Adrian all the way at the back of the field there. And it's not going to get much better for him. There were more cars spinning there. It looks like Norman Rinner and Stephen Saunders both went around, and Tuca Valchiasua. Saunders making his way into pit lane. I think he might have had some damage.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see what happened to Marcus Vorpal as well.
So this was at Turn 1. Difficult to get the entry right into this turn here. And, yeah, just lost the rear end through that fast corner. Tyres still not quite up to temperature.
Yeah, definitely can come a little bit unstuck. Let's see if we can find out what happened to our shirtless wonder. There's Kevin Adrian. Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, yep, caught the gravel at the exit of the final corner, and that took off the left front wheel. So, Kevin having to tow back to the pits. Same for Tuca Valchiasua as well. Not quite sure what happened to Tuca, but for now, Timothy Ng is leading the way, and Rupesh Paneni back to 3rd. Was there contact between these guys? A little bit. Paneni was sent wide in turn 3, and then further contact with Bentvelsen.
Yeah, I did wonder how they shuffled around a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, we have our answer. Thankfully, Rupesh Paneni able to keep the train rolling, and indeed, he's currently looking to make a full charge back towards the front of the pack.
I love the trust that these drivers have in each other. The fact that contact can be made like that and they manage to walk away from it without having a massive crash. That's the kind of racing that we have up at the front here, and we love it. So into turn 1 again. Start of lap 3, and Leon Bentvelsen is keeping Timothy Ng very close company. Kevin Lau and Ian Joyner seem to be more involved with each other than they are with trying to get back to the top 3. Vanderlei, Harker, and Lenz are right behind them, looking to take advantage of any slip-ups.
Yeah, let's have a quick look back, see exactly what happened to Joe Hasser. Whoa.
Yeah, oh, okay. Was that contact? It was. Not sure with who. Oh, okay. So 2 cars made contact with him. Whoever that was in the blue and black car. Oh, it was Rich.
Yeah, Rich was in the grey and orange, but yeah, definitely a little bit unfortunate there. He was currently Joe Haas started in P number 3 for the club class split.
Yeah, not ideal there for Joe. And he's now down in 33rd position at the moment. So with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go, not too long. Of course, the first 2 races of a day here at the Almeida Academy go for 15 minutes. So with that, I think there's going to be about 10 laps or so here at Oschersleben, with the lap times being almost dead on 90 seconds, give or take a few seconds. Back to the battle outside the top 10. Luis Revellino is pressuring Manuel Hofer, with Jakob Scheppli right behind him, and Jeremy Childers as well, both of whom are trying their best to work their way further up the field, up a few positions each. Revellino having a look at turn 1 here from the number 14, but Manuel sees him coming and is able to keep the line going into the first couple of turns. It's wide for Dominicus Concevicius, and that's a beautiful move. Beautiful move from both Hofer and Revellino to get alongside, but it looks like Revellino might not be able to clear him down the straight, but he certainly will on the way into the turn.
I gotta say, that was a very, very tight bit of driving indeed. I do have to wonder as well if it was Jacob Seepley that got into the back of Joe Haas. Just having a quick look at that paint, it does indeed look familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly we have seen Seepley before, but if I have a look here at the timing screen right now, the top 15 drivers are all less than a second apart, and then if you exclude P16, it pretty much continues through, I'd say, a good solid 70% of the pack.
Yeah, everyone's still mighty close here, and looking at my track map in the sim, well, the leaders are coming into turn 11. The back of the field is just exiting turn 7 right now, so it's a long train of cars that's working its way around the circuit right now. But up at the front of it, Leon Bentbelsen has Timothy Eng in his sights and is trying his best to nail these last couple of corners. Get as wide an entry as you can into the final corner here. Bit more curb for Bentbelsen. I don't know if that's the best line through the final corner. He may have compromised his mid-corner slightly. Looks like we've had a problem for Josh Nessel as well. He's just dropped some 10 positions at the back of the pack. So I'm not entirely certain what the reason for that is. Meatball, and he's towed back to pit lane. It happened around turn 13 or so. Oh, 3 wide. That'll do it.
And 1, 2, and yeah. Definitely a little bit unfortunate there for Josh Nessel. We'll have to try and catch him a bit later on, and indeed see him on the driver cam as well.
Yes. Hopefully he'll have better luck in race 2. Battle for the lead, though, and the top 7 have started to break away from the rest of the pack here. Lenz, Carr, and Falcon in their own little pack in 8th, 9th, and 10th with 8 minutes to go. And Harker looking at the back end of this pack at the moment. He'll have the slipstream off all of these guys when they get to the straights, but Oschersleben, with how long and flowing a lot of the corners are at this place, it's pretty difficult to make moves and make them stick around here.
Indeed, taking a look here at the paint of Brian Lenz as well, indeed looks like it matches the one of Jacob Seepley, but I do have to say a little bit of a shout out to my fellow Englishman, Jens Carr. His iRacing ID, ladies and gentlemen, in 5 digits. So certainly he has been on the service for a while. Just keep it into context. There's well over 1 million people who have joined iRacing since the start. I've seen some of the IDs. Myself, 355,000. I was in that kind of category. And actually, Reese, yours is quite low as well. You're definitely in the 5 digits. Yep. So certainly, it's amazing just thinking about it. A little bit of a history lesson here, which Reese would be more qualified than myself to do. Amazing just to see how far iRacing's come along, indeed.
Yep, my ID is 60280. That shows you how long I've been on the service, as Rupesh Paneni tries to keep Kevin Lau behind him, but Kevin has the inside for Hotel. Paneni, with a bit more throttle on the outside, though, is going to keep the position. That's very nice there from Rupesh. He's really confident in the grip of those tyres. Joyner almost takes advantage of that, but Lau will stay ahead. And at the back of it, Vanderlei and Harker are starting to scrap as well, side by side into the triple. I don't know if this is going to work out well if you keep it side by side. Bas Vanderlei backing out of it, and I think that was a wise decision. Harker was getting through no matter what.
Yeah, indeed, Tyler Harker, I wouldn't say he's overly aggressive, but he definitely knows how to position that car well. Bas Vanderlei, I've got to say credit where due. He has been getting caught in a few incidents, and I don't think it's necessarily been his fault. You know, he's just been having a little bit of an unfortunate time. In certainly, I'd say more into last season. This season, though, he's going well. We keep egging him on to try and get himself up onto the podium. He's got pace, but indeed, being able to deliver on that has been quite the challenge. As Rupesh Paneni is going at it again here with Kevin Lau and Ian Joyner trying to find a way through. He's going to make it 3 wide. Whoa! That's brave. I'm waiting for the contact. Joyner backs out of it, and Tyler Harker starts having a little bit of a sniff as well. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Ian. Look at that. That's beauty.
Yeah, indeed. Lovely Pit Road Productions logo on the nose cone. But what I'm also seeing looking ahead is that they've allowed Timothy Young and Leon Bentbelsen to get away from them, and by quite a massive amount. There's some 2 seconds between Bentbelsen and Pineni now, and Kevin Lau is going to try and get the move done at turn 1. He's ahead on the way in, and Pineni sees a bit of room to the inside there. He's going to squeeze his car into it. Contact through Hotel, and Pineni's going to almost keep the position again here, but Kevin has the inside line for turn 3. And Ian Joyner, all he can do is just stand and watch. He can't get involved in this. He tried it once and backed out of it. He needs to wait for the right opportunity, and I think it might have just presented itself.
Indeed, these guys are absolutely duking it out. Kevin Lau is going to be smiling right at... Well, actually, why are we asking how he's feeling? We know he's going to have... Let's have a look at what Kevin Lau's face is right now. Sorry, Kevin. Indeed, you see, he is absolutely fixated on concentration. But what is going through his mind, I have a pretty good feeling that it's going to be very much of a... See if I can keep Ian Joyner behind me and keep these guys busy. Because certainly, those two guys, they started to duke it out a little bit there, Joyner and Harker. And indeed, Puneni as well was getting into the mix. And the whole time, Lau was able to just creep away a little bit. If these guys keep going at it, he will be able to break free of the pack, albeit temporarily, because certainly he's got no one to draw from, which is absolutely crucial here in these Formula 1600s.
Yeah, certainly is. It was really interesting watching Kevin about half a lap ago, seeing his eyes dart around. He was checking the virtual mirror to make sure that he was clear, and was able to take his line. Checking in with Bas van der Leek. He's almost always a picture of concentration when he's out there, and at the moment he hasn't advanced much further beyond P7 after starting in 4th, losing those positions in the opening laps, but he'll take advantage if anything goes wrong. Bit further back, Philip Falcon wide into Hotel, but translates that into a late apex to keep himself ahead of Jen's car, and Luis Rivellino is right there with them too. They're starting to catch back up to Brian Lenz and Bas van der Leek. There's some good laps, some good times going on between these three.
Well, I've got to say, right now, Philip Falcon is in an absolutely golden position. Despite the fact he's in the silver class, the club class, ladies and gentlemen, he is currently in P9 overall, indeed P2 in the club class. Tyler Harker being the next car up the road for him. Now, don't get me wrong, Harker's applying pressure. I don't know how hard he's going to fight though, because while this is a beautiful thing about the Premier and the club class, so the club class drivers are also competing in Premier, but it's kind of like a one-way stop. As you can see there, going a little bit wide was Brian Lenz. So certainly, you know, how hard does he want to push? Does he want to win the club class, or does he indeed want to try and capitalize on the overall championship contention?
Yeah, because you got to remember there are 2 subclasses of driver here, but they are not scored separately. You get points based on your overall finishing position. So if you're a club class driver and you're fighting with the premiers, if I was in that position, I would go for the move. But you got to balance that against where your other club class competitors are. If you got a big gulf between them, like Philip Falcon seems to have to Ilariano, then maybe it's fine just letting things go. Darren Sharple's down in 25th at the moment and battling here with Kemal Kasim and Rich Meesters. Meesters just getting alongside, but Sharples with a slightly better run, and Jeffrey Westland is going to join them here. He's going to go 3 wide, and oh dear, in reaction, Sharples moving over, and there's further contact on the way into Hotel. Oh, and off goes Westland. He already had some issues earlier on falling down the order, and he's going to fall down even further now.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit unfortunate there for Jeffrey Westland. Right now, Rich Meese is down 10 positions. He had that collision earlier with a Joe Haas, but fair play. We know Jeffrey Westland, pretty talented in a go-kart, but indeed, the F1600 just a little bit wider.
Yes, just a little. Well, we'll move back up to Ian Joyner then as he finds his way to the run into turn 3 here. Actually, is this turn 3? No, this is the run down the back stretch. My apologies. Joyner nailing the apex there, keeping P3 nicely, but he's got 2.5 seconds to make up to catch up to our top 2 fight. Can he do it with just a lap to go after this?
Well, one thing I did notice is that Ian Joyner currently holds the fastest lap as well, and looking at that gap between himself and Kevin Lau, as we go into this start-finish straight, it was about 0.65 of a second. We have to keep an eye on that, because in theory, it's going to drop back, ladies and gentlemen. Is Kevin Lau going to be able to catch up? Okay, he's dropped down. but not enough. Joyner may have just been able to break the draft here as Tyler Harker now going side by side with Rupesh Vanilla. Rupesh, we know, is not afraid to bang wheels. He will race. And indeed, Bas van der Lee, a little bit more cautious driver. He's there starting to apply a bit of pressure as well. Brian Lenz looking to potentially pick up the pieces as Philip Falcon currently there. Should something happen with Harker, he could be seeing a P1 in the club class.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. Looks like Falcon will be safe for now because Carr and Rivellino still fighting behind him into the triple. That's Rivellino getting into the top 10 from there. Worth pointing out, we still, excuse me, we still have the field invert for the grid of race 2. It's going to be the top 8 that get inverted. So right now, Brian Lenz is on track to be on pole position for race 2 if he stays there. Leon Bentvelsen now sees a bit of a bigger gap between himself and Timothy Eng. And it looks like Timothy has done just enough to be able to keep them at bay there. Ian Joyner still under pressure from Kevin Lau, though. Could be a change for third coming into the last couple of corners.
Yeah, certainly it's still very much on the table. I think there's battles happening throughout. Actually, we have a look a little bit further back here. This is the battle going on for P18 overall. Looks like Alfredo Cruciani, Sarunas Brusca, and indeed Anthony Ori are starting to duke it out a little bit, as well as Ilya Ariano.
Well, Timothy Eng has crossed the line in first place, and that will be his first win of the season after being in contention for it in all 3 races at Mosport. Leon Bentvelsen on his return finishing second ahead of championship leader Ian Joyner. The conclusion of these battles further back, Darren Sharples, looks like Meisters has managed to get back past him, and that'll be how they work out there. Andres Svoboda and Marcus Vorpal rounding out your top 31 places. Just a couple more cars left to take the finish, and it looks like Stephen Saunders, after some time spent in pit lane, is going to be the last to come across the line, just making his way into turn 11 now.
Yeah, certainly a beautiful race here indeed. So, as much as I love a good bit of racecraft, it does seem like passing is quite a challenge, but fair play to give a shout out to Charles Krasik, actually, who made up 15 spots from the start. Phenomenal drive there from Krasik.
Yeah, that's crazy, honestly. Really awesome drive from Krasik. Started 37th and finishes in 22nd. Checker flag waves for Stephen Saunders, and that will be the race run and done. So with that, our results: Timothy Eng winning by a second over Leon Bentvelsen, with Ian Joyner rounding out your top 3. Then it was Kevin Lau in 4th, ahead of Tyler Harker, who wins the club class. Rupesh Paneni, Bas van der Lee, and Brian Lenz round out your top 8. Flip them, and that's your top 8 for race 2. Philip Falcon and Luis Rivellino rounding out your top 10. And well, all of these drivers are going to be starting in the same position as they finished in, outside of the top 8. And it looks like a very short grid timer, so I don't think we'll have time to go through everybody here, Zippy.
Okay, fair enough indeed. As we see, Brian Lenz takes to the front of that pack, and like you said, a grid so big, ladies and gentlemen, it's going back and round the final corner. Phenomenal stuff here, but absolutely loving it today. Certainly Kane Halliburton, we did hope would be able to join us today. He is not home. I'm not sure where Conor Bell is. Indeed, Swelio, I think he's been flying around a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he's been in Japan, he's been in Dubai. Pretty sure he was in Italy the other day as well. He is definitely out on the move, ladies and gentlemen, as indeed we're getting ready to go here with Brian Lenz.
All right, green flag flies and we are away. It's pretty easy to get this F1600 off the line, so it's an even start between just about everybody in the field as they make their way down to turn 1. And just as I say that, at the background, it looks like Tuka Valkyasuo and Josh Nessel have had a coming together, coming off the line. We'll get a replay of that shortly, but for now, the run through turn 1. Oh dear, Michael Tan and Sarunas Brusca have found the barrier, and with plenty of damage. So a slightly less clean start than it was for race 1. We'll see what more can be done at the front of the field, though. Lenz is holding on very nicely to the lead here, with Bas van der Lee and Rupesh Paneni pressuring him hard. Our top 5 or so haven't changed all that much, but Tyler Harker still maintaining 6th place, and Philip Falcon rounding out the top 10 for now. Andres Svoboda deep in the field in P26. That's going to be wide for the number 30. And that's going to be Todd Bonesteel keeping the exit up nicely. Paneni's gotten a slowdown. Looks like he might have cut this chicane.
Yeah,
crash at the back.
I just seen that light up as well for Pedeni. That's going to be absolutely catastrophic. 1 by, 2 by. Is it going to be 3 by? Can Tyler Harker capitalize on that as well? Slow down cleared, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. But let's say fair play to him. There's a couple of drivers who are making some really big moves. Todd Bonesteel, he's up 7 positions right now. It looks like he's at the front of this pack. An absolute onslaught of cars behind him. Indeed, he's got Charles Krasick, hard charge from the last round. Indeed, last day. Oh dear, that's smoke ahead.
Oh, Jen's car and Dominicus Consavicius have gone off, and it looks like that might be further problems for Tuukka Valkeasuo. Oh, no. That's interesting.
Let's do some replays.
Yeah, I think it's time for some replays, Zippy. Well, we'll see off the start here. Jeffrey Westland, his perspective, he went nowhere on the start and got bashed about. No surprise there. Not much that any of them could do to react. It looks like Westland just wasn't able to get the car in gear. Josh Nessel's view of it all. That's a nice little message to himself there on the dash, but unfortunately, there's not much you can do when there's a car stopped right in front of you, and you're only able to see him a fraction of a second before you're there.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit unfortunate. Let's see what happened to Darren Sharples as well.
So Sharples down the start-finish straight here. On the way into Hotel, a bit wide through turn 1, and he was on the marbles, on the gravel. Fortunately, got on the brakes just in time and didn't involve anyone else. Yeah, Tuukka Valkeasuo, he got that damage on the run up to turn 1, I believe. Also making contact with Jeffrey Westland as he was stalled. He managed to make it back into the pits, but only just. There was also the incident here. With
back to live
sorry,
pictures.
We're back to live pictures. My apologies. But I will point out that coming into McDonald's at turn. Oh dear. Oof. All right, keep it clean. Coming into McDonald's at turn 10, Alfredo Cruciani ran wide and Charles Krasick made contact with him. That was the incident we saw in the background a bit earlier. But for now, keep an eye on the front of the field. That's very loose there for Tyler Harker. He gets into the gravel. Panetti moves through, as does everybody in the top 10. Harker recovers, but he is back to 12th.
Yeah, you could just see that was definitely of a play-the-man scenario, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he was very much played. Philip Falcon now leading your club class. Michael Cortez briefly showing a slowdown flag as well. But what can I say? Intense racing here. Todd Bonesteel, he's managed to make his way up 11 positions so far. But look at this. We know this man can drive. Kevin Adrian up 17 positions. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see why this man is indeed a seasoned member of the Almeida Racing League. He is absolutely up there making some incredible moves.
That he is. Brilliant stuff. Up to 20th spot and keeping an eye on Andre Svoboda there as they make their way into McDonald's, one of the sponsored corners here at Oschersleben. Had McDonald's earlier tonight. Kevin Adrian out of the corner then, catching the slipstream. Jakob Chepley, meanwhile, has Tyler Harker right on the back of him, and Tyler's trying to get back into the top 10 here, but he's got to start with getting into 11th, and it looks like Jakob is making it very hard for him.
Yeah, Jakob Chepley, we know, can definitely position a car very, very well. And indeed, he is trying to hold on to the back of Jeremy Childers just ahead. He was a decent charge in the last race as well. Childers barely hanging on as well. He's got Philip Falcon just ahead, who's realistically, the battle ahead is not for him, ladies and gentlemen, which sounds really derogatory. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he's going up against the Premier Class drivers. There's some interesting moves there. Bass Mandalay having a little bit of a hard time controlling it there through turns 1 and 2. And indeed, able to keep it on track, but certainly Bass there having a little bit of a hard time today. He's down 5 positions so far.
Yeah, he is indeed. Bit wide through turn 2, and Luis Revellino, who has certainly proven himself to be worthy of competition up here. KF Lai, the next driver with issues, it's right in the middle of the run between turns 1 and 2. This has been a favourite spot for drivers to go off in this race. There were a few other incidents back there that we haven't managed to catch yet, but he just lost the rear into turn 1. I mean, there's no downforce on these cars. Contact on the way through. Very thin, treaded tyres on these cars as well. Oh, God, such close calls all the way through. And finally, KF Lai manages to get rolling again. But coming into fast corners like turn 1, it's very easy to lose the rear end. Oh, contact for the lead. And that's Joyner moving on through. Contact between Kevin Lau and Brian Lenz. And Bent Velsen and Pineni will move through to the last 2 spots on the podium in the midst of all of that. Ian Joyner with a 1.8 second lead with 9 minutes to go.
Indeed, nobody is going to be able to catch Ian Joyner now. He's been absolutely potent all day. He's currently doing a 132 flat, ladies and gentlemen. The man is, for lack of better words, hauling anchors, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, was right now Rupesh Panay. He's looking a little bit more fired up today, I've got to say. Indeed, he looks like he's got the likes of Leon Benvelsen to keep him company. As I say that, Benvelsen with an absolute tank slapper of a slide there, able to hold on to it, but definitely lost a little bit of time. Paneni's going to see that, and indeed, he knows how to play the man.
Yeah, this is a good taste of what it must have been like for Formula One drivers in the 1960s, with how much these cars slide around through these fast corners. You have to slide them a little in order to get the best out of them, but the slip angle that they're getting through turn 1 in particular is mildly concerning to my eyes. You see how Paneni is working the wheel here through Hasseröder and leading up into the chicane. Have a look at how sideways he gets here through this left-hander. Watch. Oh, a little bit of counter steering in the midst of all of that as well. But that's what you need to do to get fast laps here.
Indeed, certainly. I'm going to have to borrow the, I'd say borrow the keys. Race cars don't usually have keys, but I'm going to have to try and borrow one of these real Formula 1600s. And indeed, I know a couple of people who've got one. And they might let me behind the wheel as well. Certainly a little bit more car than a go-kart that I'm used to. I'll say used to. I've only done 3 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, that's been interesting as well. But right now, you can see here, Rupesh Paneni applying all sorts of pressure. Let's have a little of a look back through the field, though. Darren Sharple's now getting into a battle here with Norman Ryan.
Yes, so Darren versus Norman, and Norman's going to get defensive here into the corner, and nice to see those. Connor, Swellio, and Kane. Probably to remind himself of who the coaches are, so that he doesn't make contact with them. that's my cynical interpretation of that.
Oh,
but
that's not it, Reese. That's not it. That's actually his assassination list in terms of who he's going to yeet on the track.
I see. Well, good thing none of them are here today, so they're safe for now. Zoltan Zomotor back in P28. Zoltan Zomotor will find his way into the top 30 in this one. It's been a bit of a rough round for Zoltan. He had great success at Mosport last round, but Oschersleben, his home round on the schedule, in fact, not being very kind to him. He's probably still getting some valuable experience racing here back in the pack. He's got Dominicus Consavicius right behind him into Hasseröder. Oh, the early braking works nicely there, but Dominicus seems a little more confident on the brakes right now. Let's see what it's like through the chicane. Oh no, looks like Jakob Shipley is the next driver to have an off at turn 11. Then he manages to get rolling again without involving anyone else. But it looks like he did this all on his own. There was Kevin Lau behind him, but there was no contact.
Yeah, definitely a brown flag moment for sure.
Not least for everyone who was coming up on him. Oh, hello. Benvelsen and Paneni side by side for second, and Rupesh will catch some of the gravel that's been spat onto the racetrack here. Timothy Ing trying to take advantage, but that wide line through turn 2 seems to work so well, especially for Rupesh.
Yeah, indeed. Certainly Rupesh able to really carry a good bit of momentum here, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly that's one of the reasons I love the Formula 1600. The draft is a big factor. Momentum is a big factor. And indeed, you're not just going to be able to power away in one of these cars. They definitely do not have the... well, they're not known for being able to shred tyres, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put it like that. But certainly the lead pack, I say the lead pack, Ian Joyner's kind of doing his own thing at the minute, setting a nice brisk 132.1. So fair play, he is absolutely hauling today in that 1600. But meanwhile, Benvelsen is leading the second charge. And this battle goes all the way back from P2 all the way down to Tyler Harker, who's at the back of this pack in P number 10.
Yeah, so Harker has made it back into the top 10. Good to see. Some nice improvements from Nathan Safarian as well, who's just behind Harker, getting up into 11th from 15th. And don't forget, Harker started outside the top 20, or just inside the top 20, sorry, in race number 2. He's battling with Manuel Hofer for that 11th spot. And Manuel, the Austrian, appears to be just taking it easy in this battle. He knows that there's still 3 laps to go when they cross the line next, and he needs to pick the move just right if he wants to actually make it work. Oh, Michael Cords with a big slide there through turn 13. He's going to go wide through the final corner as well. Freebie for Stephen Saunders.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit there of not quite enough grip available. Meanwhile, Rich Meese's managed to make his way by as well. We do have a couple of drivers in the pits. Tulka Vakaseo, Josh Nessel, Cyrinas Bruzga, Michael Tan, and the Jeffrey Weston currently down pit road with a meatball flag as well. Meanwhile, though, Tyler Harker, he was in P10 a second ago. Timothy Eng has fallen back 2 positions, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, somebody's got the better of the racing driver.
Yes, Timothy had a bit of a wiggle coming through turns 1 and 2. It's an incident we've seen many times already in this show, and this probably won't be the last time we see it. He was carrying a lot of speed in, had to avoid the car in front, and the gravel trap was really the only place he could go.
Well, fair play indeed. It is what it is. Kevin Lowlow, who's we've seen currently getting into a couple of incidents here today, is currently holding the fastest lap. He's managed to put it into the 1:31, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, look at that. Tyler Harker and Jeremy Childers going to duke it out ahead of him. Indeed, he's going to get an absolutely giga kind of well, an absolutely giga, uber, massive, monumental kind of slipstream from the pair of them. Look at it. You see it there in action. These two guys go side by side. They're off the up. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Timothy Eng.
Surprise!
So when when I'm commentating, I watch the cars from the rear chase view. So I'm looking at the front of the car so I can see who's coming up behind them. I saw Timothy coming up and I like, okay, he's going to appear in a couple of seconds here. Nice 4-way fight between these guys. Timothy's going to go up the inside of Jeremy Childers, but the outside is more important through turn 2, as Rupesh Paneni has proved many a time here. Bit less momentum on the tighter inside line there for Childers, and Eng will move through. Lau's going to try and do the same at turn 3, but this banked corner is very easy to go side by side through. You're switching between those front and rear facing cameras, and it's still difficult to see where exactly Jeremy Childers is going to turn up. So I certainly don't blame you for that, Zippy. I think it's just the nature of racing at this track and these cars. Side by side is just, yeah, it's just maintained.
Well, certainly, if anybody from the Instacam is watching, I certainly wouldn't say no to one of your cameras. Indeed, it would be great for something like that, full 360-degree view. Yeah, I dropped a plug there. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, though, Ian Joyner has managed to expand his gap. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a man, and indeed, I do wonder at times if he is a machine. He's currently managed to pull away about 3.2 seconds ahead. Rupesh Paneni able to get himself to the front of the second pack. Leon Bentvelsen, indeed, there with Bas van der Lee. Now, I do have to wonder here, are the two Dutchmen going to team up against the Indian driver and indeed trying to find a way up ahead? Bas van der Lee there, we've been encouraging him, trying to see him back here on the podium. We know he's got pace, but is he going to be able to get it? And just how hard is he going to fight with his fellow countrymen as the white flag waves? Thank you, Barney.
Yeah, lovely stuff from Barney there. Look at him, he's twirling that thing. He's been practicing. Rupesh Paneni under pressure, but he was the fastest car on track last lap. So Bentvelsen and Vanderlei have to work hard here. They both run a bit deep in turn 2, but that's the optimum line there. You bring it back in for the sausage curb at the end of turn 2. Now, do they fight with each other, or do they work together to try and catch up to Paneni? Vanderlei's having looks at Bentvelsen there, and it would appear that Paneni's gap has increased to the point that it'll be difficult for them to catch up. I suppose that's the case as well between Paneni and Joyner. You know, this is... I'll save the talking point for warm-up. We've still got some racing to go here, as Kevin Lau needs to get a bit further back into the top 10 to keep his championship alive in these opening rounds. Currently stuck behind Jeremy Childers, and not many opportunities to make a move are presenting themselves. But full credit to Childers. He earned this position, and he is keeping it.
Yeah, certainly the racecraft here from Childers. Indeed, the defensive strategy has been quite potent indeed. While he doesn't always carry the most pace, he definitely knows how to position that car wisely. Kevin Lau, though, definitely no slouch, and he's going to try and make a little bit of a step. Yeah, it's legit, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's Harker.
That's Harker. Off he goes. Contact, I believe, with Timothy Ing just up ahead. Drama on the final lap. But out of the final corner, Ian Joyner is going to take a dominant lead by over 3 seconds. Checkered flag flies, and it's P1 for Ian Joyner. Rupesh Paneni managing to keep Leon Bentvelsen and Bas van der Lee at bay.
Yeah, let's also give a shout out here to Luis Rivellino. Shows up and gets a P5 in his first event. That's definitely nothing to be ashamed of as well. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Timothy Harker here. Tyler Harker.
Yes. So turns 11 and 12. They seem like a solid passing opportunity, but it's not ideal at the best of times. So that was him getting past the car of Timothy Ing. It was later on in the lap at turn 11 here. Oh yeah, Harker was already... yeah, there was some net code. The Harker was clearly already turning in to turn 11 by the time Ing arrived on the scene. So I don't know if that move was on necessarily.
Oh, that was harsh.
But yeah, clearly there was some net code involved in that. That's a shame.
Yeah, he definitely got sent a little bit harder, I think, than in reality, ladies and gentlemen. But fair play, that is a... well, that was something else, ladies and gentlemen. That's fair play.
Yeah. Race 1 was quite clean. It was race 2 where everyone, I think, got a bit of extra confidence and it didn't quite work out for them. The results then, with Ian Joyner starting in P6. He managed to work his way through to the lead, and Rupesh Paneni finishing 3.1 seconds behind him. Bent Belsen completing the podium ahead of Vanderlei, with Luis Revellino a fantastic top 5 finish there. Philip Falcon again finishing well in the club class, this time taking the club class victory. Timothy Ing finishes in 7th ahead of Childers, Lau and Hofer to round out the top 10.
As we all look here at P11, Nathan Safarian makes an appearance here in the results, but not on the driver camera. Subtle hint there if you're listening. Anthony Ori makes P12 with Todd Bonesteel. He's been doing pretty well since he showed up. He's there in 13th with Brian Lenz, our resident American patriot there, in 14th. Tyler Harker, definitely a little bit of a rough race for him today. He takes 15th with Charles Krasik, yet again proving he has got what it takes. Takes a P4 in the club class, indeed P16 overall. Jacob Sipley takes 17th with Kemal Kassim. Good to have him back in 18th. Kevin Adrian in 19th, and indeed Andre Svoboda rounding out your top 20.
Much better finish for Stephen Saunders in race 2, 21st ahead of Jens Carr, who fell back from P11. Darren Sharples gaining 3 spots to finish 23rd, and Norman Rinner manages to gain 9 positions to finish 24th ahead of Rich Meesters, Michael Cords and Joe Haas. Dominikos Konsavicius in 28th, and then Zoltan Zomotor finishes 29th ahead of Ilari Arnio.
Carry on, Reese.
KF Lai is going to finish in 31st, last car on the lead lap, ahead of Marcus Vorpal, who's a lap down, and then a long retirements list started by Alfredo Cruciani, Tuka Valkyasuo, Saranos Bruzga, Michael Tan, Jeffrey Westland, and Josh Nessel. Westland and Nessel out of the race before they even really crossed the timing line there, which is a bit of a shame. Well, now we have Bas Vanderlei in here with us for a little bit of a chat. Good finishes so far here, Bas. Hello to you too. P7 in race 1, P4 in race 2. A consistent points haul for you thus far.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I was shuffled to the back a little bit during the early phases of race 2, but kept her cool and hopefully something happened in front. It did. And then I tried to get Leon, but I couldn't quite get him. I thought maybe there was a chance when he hit the grass at the backstretch, but he wasn't slowing down enough. So I tried to distract him. I tried to do anything, but it didn't work.
Well, it's going to be a tight race for the title of fastest Dutchman at Oschersleben, so we wish you the best of luck with that, Bas. Obviously, keeping yourself in the fight and not allowing Ian to get away is going to be top of your priority list.
Well, normally Ian can reserve the sponsored space in the interview room afterwards because he wins so much, so that's how good he is. We'll try and make life difficult for him if we can.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck with that, Bas. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bas Vanderlei there in the commentary box with us. Now it's time for a quick word from the Almeida Racing Academy.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy,
where every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Suelio Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Creating champion.
Oswelio Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Wait a race, buddy. Wait a race.
A huge thanks to the Almeida Racing Academy for bringing us on here at Pit Road Productions to bring these shows to the world. Warm-up is done and we're getting ready for race number 3 here, but very quickly, a reminder that you can get a gold membership to the Almeida Racing Academy, and with that will come entry to this league for the upcoming season. $50 a month, but it's great value. It gives you access to all of the coaching material from Oswelio Almeida and friends to help you get faster both in the real and sim track.
Ooh, merch.
Merch. Give me my merch. Yes. Fantastic stuff. It's a great coaching service, best in the business, and all of the drivers you're seeing on the grid here are students of the Academy, and we have seen their journeys as they've gotten faster through their learning with ARA. Joiner starts on pole with Paneni, Bentbelsen, Vanderlei, and Rivellino rounding out your top 5. Philip Falcon will start on pole for the club class here. This grid is defined by the results of race 2, and only 15 seconds remaining on the grid timer. Everyone's rushed onto the grid, as have we. Let's see who comes away on top here. Ian Joyner, I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be a repeat of round 1 at Mosport, where he just runs away with it in the last 2 races. He did it in race 2. Can he do it in race 3? Lights about to go up here, and the revs will rise. Those 4 cylinders will start buzzing in just a few moments. Green flag flies, and we're away. Nice puffs of smoke from just about everybody. Slightly quicker start from Rupesh Paneni, but I don't think he'll get past Joyner in turn 1. Ian's going to try and defend this for all it's worth. Paneni draws level with him and backs out of it. He knew that he wouldn't get the move done there. So now it's time to settle in and prepare for the long game as we get a view of the inside of a wheel hub there for Paneni. Big crash at turn 1. We're seeing lots of drivers falling down the order, and that is Kevin Adrian, who's gone off in a big way there. That's completely destroyed the rear axle of that car. There's gravel on the apex of turn 2 as well. That looks like mechanical black flag for Alfredo Cristiani out of that as well. So replay very instantly here, Zippy.
Yeah, definitely want to find out what happened early on here as we're taking a look at Kevin Adrian, who nothing he could do there. Looks like Misa's going to him as well. Just an absolute colossal. There goes Saunders up on the inside. Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate there. Poor Kevin.
Not ideal. Yeah, that's just hard luck. It's a corner that requires an aggressive entry, turn 1, but when you're on cold tires, it's very difficult to feel out your grip levels. Ian Joyner then leading the race, but not by much from Rupesh Paneni, as the 20-minute final race gets it going. We're almost at the end of the first lap already. The entire top 32 cars have got a box around them in my timing as Safarian runs a little wide. That'll allow Manuel Hofer through. Actually, that's Safarian getting through on Hofer, my apologies. Hofer running wide, and it looks like the poor run through the final corner is going to give a good run here to Anthony Ori and Tyler Harker. Anthony Ori working his way up steadily through this field, but he'll run wide and let Harker take the spot for now.
Indeed, Jacob Seepley as well. He's made some moves so far, up 3 positions on the day. KF Lai, he's up an incredible 9 positions. Further back, though, Josh Nessel. We've been meaning to get him here on the driver cam. He's currently up 12 positions now. Fair play, young man.
Very well done to Josh. And, well, it looks like he's actually running. Yeah, he's running the sequential shifter that these cars have in the real world. Puff of smoke. That's Joe Haas going off right next to them. So a freebie there as Haas rejoins the track just behind them. Ilariano will take advantage, as will Andres Svoboda there, who's just made his way past Joe Haas. So It looks like quite a few drivers deep in the pack here that have made up a lot of positions from that carnage at turn 1. Tuukka Valkeaisuo is up 10 positions, and Josh Nessel, who we were just keeping an eye on, is up 13 places. So these guys will try and help each other through the rest of the field, I'm sure. But Tuukka is going for the move on Rich Meesters here at turn 11.
Yeah, I have a feeling Meesters may have a little bit of damage as well. I think he got caught in that incident earlier on. I have to take a closer look, as that's a little bit of a slap in there. Let's take a look, see if we can see anything. That looks a little bit bent there. You see, just on the nose cone, look.
Yes, and that's Luis Revellino on the inside of the final corner. He had a spin, and it looks like that was on the way into the final corner. Not ideal for Lewis, who had a fantastic result in race 2. Oh, there is more behind him. Oh, dearie me. Josh Nessel with a big problem there. He's having to trundle back into the pits. The front left has been destroyed.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a replay of that one.
Luis Revellino is towed back to pit lane in the meantime here. He was just trying to find a way to get back onto the circuit. He had to wait for pretty much the entire field to get past him before he could safely re-enter the racetrack.
Just trying to see if it was just here, if we'll see it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the car was a bit too damaged for him to continue on. I'm not sure if Josh Nessel had anything to do with it, but we will see. This was further back in the field, slightly slower through. Oh, yeah, spin ahead. And I think that might have been potentially Marcus Vorpal. My God, Joe Haas coming in and going airborne with that contact with Josh Nessel. Yeah, looks like further back in the field, it's just a matter of survival. But up the front, it's a matter of trying to outrace your opponents here. Ian Joyner and Rupesh Panini still leading the way. The top 4 are still in the same positions they started in, and they're the only ones.
Indeed, fair play to them as well. Certainly, it looks like Leon and Bass are going to be sticking close together as well. Certainly applying a good amount of pressure. Timothy Ing, he's about 1.2 seconds back. He's got the likes of Kevin Lau with him as well. Certainly, if these guys work together, they have the potential to catch the pack ahead. Kevin Lau actually with the fastest time last lap round with 1:32.16. Further back, though, Jeremy Childers, he's got the likes of Philip Falcon for company. This could be an absolutely monumental haul here for Philip Falcon. He's currently leading the club class yet again. This could be 2 P1s, and I think it was a P2 from race number 1. Absolutely monumental points haul.
Yeah, lovely stuff from Philip Falcon, and I think with Tyler Harker's misfortune in race 2, that will swing the points advantage in Philip Falcon's favour. Manuel Hofer then just behind Nathan Safarian, but he's got Tyler Harker right behind him as well. Car 133 looking to make up for that poor run in the last laps of race 2. Harker's already up 4 places, and he's looking to make it 5.
Yeah, definitely a point of pressure. Looks like Philip Falcon now starting to size up Jeremy Childers as well, battling here for P7 overall. Battles happening throughout the circuit, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like KF Lai applying a little bit of pressure here to Dominicus Consavicius as well, just ahead, battling for P number 19. Tuukka Valkeaisuo right here in the mix as well.
Yes, Tuukka is looking for a little bit better from this round, and he's doing all right in race 3 here, up 13 positions from where he started. Qualified in 21st for race 1, and then it was P38 and P34, both 9 laps down. 2 retirements for Tuukka Valkeaisuo so far today, so he needs a finish here, but I don't know if he's going to get it if that keeps happening. Losing the rear out of the final corner, and well, he'll try his best to get that thing rolling. Just enough space for him to get it turned around.
Yeah, that's how it looks here. See what? Oh my!
Oh
dear. I think he was already damaged. I'd say, looking at that.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if the... Oh, yeah. So both the rear right and the front left looked like they were having issues there for Jakob Scheppli. Yeah, that's far from ideal for him. Steve Saunders tripped through the pit lane. He just spent 3 minutes in there getting repairs done, and he's managed to make his way back out. So good to see from him. Valkeaisuo, meanwhile, back down to 25th, but crucially still rolling and undamaged from what we can see. It's on for the last couple of positions in the top 10. Safarian and Hopper side by side through the chicane. Whoa, Tyler, that was brave indeed, but Safarian's going to get it done on Hoffa there, and Manuel is going to be defensive now. Yeah, versus Anthony Ori, because, yeah, Tyler Harker, he has nowhere to go right now. Can he get up the inside into turn 12? Just enough room for him to squeeze in there. This is such a tight fight.
Yeah, I have a feeling Safarian is going to want a haircut after racing this much. He's going to be sweating through his, well, I don't know if mullet's the right word, through his locks, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, as he is pretty much leading this pack. And he doesn't just have one driver behind, he has about 6 of them all trying to vie and get into P number 9.
Yes, indeed. Oh, there's Hofer pulling out and trying to go for a move here into turn 1. Safarian's going to let him have it. Or is he? Bit of contact there. That sends Hofer slightly wide, but that's the optimum line for turn 2. Look at the speed that Tyler Harker has there. Using all of the curb and then some on the exit. They're 3 wide on the way into turn 3 for P9. And Harker will get up the inside to the apex first. Anthony Ori rejoins the battle alongside Safarian.
Indeed, these guys are absolutely duking out. I don't think there's anything really in that one Safarian could do. He's now stuck on the outside yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he's going to have to go back out of it. Oh, almost contact there again. These guys are absolutely just grudge match level of fighting here. And indeed, Ori has to hold up a little bit there. Safarian comes back onto the line. Meanwhile, you can see there the likes of Harker and Hofer have managed to pull away by about 0.6 of a second.
Jeez, the field is so big that we're getting all of these incredible fights. This is a great fight now with Harker and Hofer leading the way. This battle stretches all the way down to KF Lai and P19. There they are at the back. This is insane.
Absolutely loving this field, and honestly, I would love to race. Maybe I have to get John to come in and do and cover a show so I can come in and race. Make sure it's obviously a Princess-approved track as well, and hopefully doesn't mess with the point system here in the Academy as well. Let's take a little bit of a look here further up. It looks like Timothy Ing has managed to get himself into that battle with Kevin Lau coming along as well.
Yeah, so all of these drivers chasing Ian Joyner, and the point that I was going to make in warm-up is that this is almost a repeat of what Joyner was able to do at Mosport last week. He was able to just pull away in P1 while everyone behind him scrapped for second. What these drivers will need to be keen to avoid is fighting too hard between themselves. They've still got 10 minutes to go to consolidate their positions. What's more important right now is staying with Ian Joyner.
Yeah, certainly he seems to be the resident hare, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he is the canary that's currently singing. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, he may be well, I mean, he's in canary colours, I'll give him that, but fair play to him. But Rupesh Menni is starting to fall back a little bit there, about 0.4 of a second. Indeed, you got to wonder just how hard these guys are going to try and push. And realistically, Ian Joyner, he's a gentleman and a scholar by all means, but I have a feeling he may have a little bit of a target paint on the back of that number 8 car. Indeed, he is the man to beat.
Yes, well, he came into this round leading the championship after winning 2 of the 3 races last round, and already got a win on board here today as well. So, with now approaching 9 minutes remaining in this 20-minute final race, Ian Joyner has a 0.4 of a second lead still, coming down to 0.3 as Paneni picks up the slipstream, and the new fastest lap goes to Timothy Eng, with Kevin Lau chasing him. So Timothy looking for, both Timothy and Kevin, I think, looking for a bit of redemption for their performances in race number 2. Let's just see how it works out for them.
Yeah, certainly a fantastic amount of battling going on as well. We're certainly not short for action. That's Charles Krasick getting a little bit too close. And who's that? Yeah, there you go. KF Lai getting into the back of him as well. Went in a little bit too hard, made contact with the car ahead. Indeed, both of them getting ricocheted back down the order. Despite that, KF Lai up 12 positions on the day. Looking for your hard charge, though. It actually goes to Sarunas Bruska, who's currently up 14 spots in this race so far.
Could be 15 if he manages to find his way past Rich Meesters here. Rich steadily working his way into the top 20, and enough of a slipstream to keep him and Mr. Bruska in contact with Lai and Krasick just ahead. Well, out through Hasaroda, tightens up a little on the exit that corner, so you got to be careful of the line you take through it. Side by side, meanwhile, for 4th, Bas van der Leij and Timothy Ing. And that's going to be Ing taking the position there. Kevin Lau will try his best to follow him through. Van der Leij has to give them all the room in the world on the way through turn 13, but not 14. And it looks like he might have the chance to fight back against Kevin Lau down the start-finish stretch. But it's a dangerous first couple of turns to go side by side. Who backs out?
Yeah, indeed. You see Basso just trying to push Kevin right to the edge of the track, and Kevin very much not moving, goes at the end. That is something they teach in the academy, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, they are definitely very, very adept students as well. They have been learning. Certainly, I feel bad for Bass. He's currently down 2 positions, but what can he do here to combat Kevin Lau? As I believe something more action happening there for Alfredo Cruciani a little bit further back. We're going to leave that on the sidelines for now here as we see these two drivers battle it out here for P number 5.
Yes, lovely fight going on between these two at the moment, but it seems they've lost touch with the top 4 now. Timothy Young has left them in his dust. He sits about 1.3 seconds ahead of them as he's chasing Bentbelsen, Pineni and Joyner. So Kevin and Bass, I think, will have to work together if they want to stay in touch here and have a chance at finishing on the podium. Pineni is monstering these curbs to stay in touch with Ian Joyner, and he's even dipping wheels into the grass occasionally.
Yeah, he's definitely on a full send mission today. Certainly watching them drive the Formula 1600 does actually remind me of back when Alonso used to drive for Renault. Actually, he'd just basically throw it in the corner and let the understeer kind of dictate when the car's going to rotate. I have a feeling that might be what's happening with these guys. It looks like Philip Falcon may be under attack here as well from... No, he's actually applying attack here to Jeremy Childers as well. That battle is happening back in P7, but we are indeed going to stay with the lead pack for the next few moments.
Looks like we're going to be coming up on some lap traffic very shortly. I think that's Westland who's just entering turn 1 ahead of them. Timothy Young again with the fastest lap with a 1:31.608 on board. He's just staying in touch with these guys, but Pineni and Bentvelsen are doing everything right at the moment. They are keeping themselves within a few tenths of Ian Joyner. Bas van der Lee and Kevin Lau have called a truce for now. And I think they're just waiting until they can catch up to these guys before they really start throwing moves at each other. 5.5 minutes remain.
Yeah, certainly if I was Bas van der Lee, I'd be having a chat with Kevin and saying, look, can we work together? They want to get caught up to the pack ahead, and actually it's Timothy Ying with that fastest lap. And indeed, on the last lap, Kevin and Bass were just that little bit slower than the lead pack. Indeed, they're doing maybe a tenth or 2 tenths in. It looks like Todd Bonesteel as well just took a little bit of a detour off the track as well. He's back, he's running okay. And indeed, Andres Svoboda able to try and capitalize on that as well. They're duking it out for P number 23. Further up in the field, though, Charles Krasik, KFY, and I believe that's Dominicus, no, not Dominicus, Charles Krasik, KFY, and indeed Rich Meesters, my apologies, are all duking it out for P number 17 as there's more contact there for KFY.
Oh, yeah, has certainly gotten a few dings and dents in that car in this race. He's really been through it, has Lai. But Rich Meesters is a clean driver, and he'll certainly, when the move is ready to be made it well, I'm pretty sure. KF Lai then keeping himself in the slipstream of Charles Krasik, who is only down 1 position from where he started now. Krasik has had a couple of issues in this final race, but has done a good job of recovering. Philip Falcon still leading the way in the club class. We've got to keep an eye on Tyler Harker back there. You never know. He might just be able to catch up to these guys. It seems like Falcon's not too interested in fighting Jeremy Childers for this position, but that might change with how wide Childers just went.
Yeah, that's just gone and opened a door, and it's labelled with opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. But honestly, I think Philip Falcon, he's aware he's in the club class, and I honestly don't think he's fighting that hard. He's very content with where he's at. If the door opens fully, I think he's going to go for it. But indeed, Childers starting to sweat a little bit there under the pressure.
Yes, a bit closer now, coming into the triple. But there's nothing that Falcon can do to make the move there. Got to wait for potentially the run into turn 11 to get it done there. Joyner has managed to extend the gap for the lead, now 0.7 of a second. And, well, Pineni, Bentvelsen and Eng are in danger of falling out of slipstream range now.
Yeah, certainly they're going to have to keep some nice, clean, nice, tidy laps going as well. Certainly a little bit more left. Kevin Lau about 1.5 seconds back. I do not think that they've been able to catch up to the back of this pack.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Timothy Eng then is now monstering the back of Leon Bentvelsen, trying to get onto the podium. The results here for Timothy Eng, well, he was able to win race 1, but he hasn't been able to get back onto the podium thus far since then. This is his best chance yet as a side-by-side behind between Lau and Van der Leyen. Into turn 1, Lau is going to keep the position, so looks like the truce might be over.
Indeed, we are getting near the closing stages of this race. Let's have a little bit of a look further back as Dominicus Konservicius now goes side by side with Kemal Kassim.
Nice move up the inside here into turn 1. Kemal Kasim gets the move done on Consavicius, and looks like that might be some lap traffic in between themselves and the next couple of cars. In particular, it is Alfredo Cruciani, who after 9 minutes in pit lane, managed to get back out there and circulate. One of the drivers who we would have hoped would have had a better result here in this one, but despite his performance in race 1 putting him inside the top 20, races 2 and 3 have not gone his way.
Indeed, certainly there's definitely been a little bit of a roller coaster for some of the drivers here, but indeed Ian Joyner has started to check out that a little bit more. He's still got it at 5-6 tenths of a second. Ben Velsen, though, starting to apply even more pressure here to the backup in any. I do have to wonder if that's maybe what's kind of drawing the gap out a little bit, but I do believe that may be a little bit of lap traffic ahead of Ian Joyner as well.
Yeah, it's Norman Rinner. And Norman's going to lift off down the start-finish straight to let these guys go, so he will not impede our leaders. Very nicely done. Final lap begins, and Ian Joyner is half a second in the lead. That's still manageable from his perspective, but it's also a gap that can be closed. Bent Velsen with a big save through turn 1. That shows you how hard he's pushing.
Yeah, he is definitely... I did this one the other day. One of my customers actually thought this one was really great, and you've heard it before as well. He's milking that thing so hard he's going to get cheese if he carries on, but indeed we're hoping that it isn't going to curdle us right now. Should that happen, Timothy Ing is going to be looking to capitalize on that. Further back though, Kevin Lau, he's fallen about 1.5 seconds back from these guys as well. He's got Bas van der Lee very much in tow, and then indeed Norman Ryan lurking just a little bit behind him as well. But I do have to wonder, that's a slowdown for Ben Velsen.
Oh no, dear. That's not ideal. Where did he pick that up? That's interesting. He might have run wide through the triple. Hopefully he can clear that in time. Otherwise he's going to lose his spot on the podium there. Ends up backing himself into Timothy Ing. And then that just leaves Paneni and Joyner to fight for the win now. Betvelsen clears the slowdown. I don't know if Timothy Ing's going to be a fan of how he did it. Paneni catching up to Joyner then, coming into the last 3 corners of the lap. Now just 2 corners to go. I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Joyner is still 0.3 of a second in the lead, and as long as he nails this final corner exit, he will get races 2 and 3 on the board to add to his win tally this season. That's exactly what happens. Across the line, it's going to be Ian Joyner and Rupesh Paneni, your top 2, and Leon Bentvelsen holds on to a podium spot. Bentvelsen, 3rd place in all 3 races today.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal stuff there from Ben Velsen. Indeed, these guys are still duking it out there. You can see there, Dominicus Consavicius, he's got the likes of Charles Krasik about 2.5 seconds behind, but you can see there just ahead, Kemal Kasim, it was down to a couple of attempts. Is he going to be able to get it done before the start finish? Nope. To quote Jojo, a little bit too little too late.
Yep, start-finish line at Oschersleben comes up a little quicker than you expect. And the fight will be resolved just inside the top 20 there. Still got a few cars left to come across the line, as it looks like there's a bit of a pit party going on down at the turn 1 runoff at the moment. Just got Ilauri Arnio and Jeffrey Westland yet to take to the finish, and Westland is making his way into turn 11 at the moment, so we may have to wait a few moments for him to get that one done. Still, overall, some fantastic racing all throughout this field. Good amount of drama, as we would expect from a track where it's so difficult to make passes, but that checkered flag will be very welcome for drivers who finish further down the order.
Indeed, absolutely phenomenal racing here today. Certainly having a look here in the chat, Kevin Asian with Cheeky, yeah, I definitely think it was. And indeed, Brian Lane's great racing, can't believe I missed it. Brian, you were in there, buddy. You just happen to have a little bit of a whoops. Claims he's not the brightest crayon in the box. Indeed, Brian, you are not even in the box, my friend. You are out doing your own magical thing. But certainly, chatting in Discord missed the start. Then whoops, he'd put exit and got black flags, so called it. Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, not ideal. Well, the ideal situation for Ian Joyner, who takes victory in races 2 and 3 here. Rupesh Paneni finishing in 2nd place twice today in races 2 and 3. Bentvelsen, I'll correct myself from before, he finished 2nd in race 1, but 3rd in races 2 and 3, with Timothy Ing getting his best result after race number 1, where he won. Kevin Lau rounding out the top 5. And then we have Bas Vanderlei finishing in P6 ahead of Jeremy Childers. That's his best result of the day. Philip Falcon in the top 10 in all 3 races, 8th for him at the end, with Tyler Harker finding his way back into the top 10 and Manuel Hofer getting into 10th place for the second time.
Indeed, absolutely fantastic stuff. Nathan Safarian back here in P11 with Anthony Ori in 12th. Jens Carr, seasoned vet, he takes 13th with Michael Cords in 14th. Kemal Kassim in 15th with Dominicus Conservicius in 16th. Charles Krasik, definitely a little bit of a mixed day for him. Again, just gets 17th in that one. K with K of Lie taking 18th. Rich Meester's rough day for him in 19th. Indeed, Sarunas Brusga rounding out your top 20.
In 21st place in the end, it was Zoltan Zomotor, with Tuka Valkyasuo finishing just behind him. Todd Bonesteel, unfortunately losing 10 positions in race 3 there. 23rd for him in the end, ahead of Andres Svoboda and Ilari Arnio. Jeffrey Westland, the last car to finish on the lead lap. Norman Rinner, 2 laps down. And Alfredo Cruciani, Joe Haas, they were able to get back out there, but big retirements list, which includes Jakob Shepley, Michael Tan, Stephen Saunders, Marcus Vorpal, Josh Nessel, Luis Rivellino, Kevin Adrian, Darren Sharples, Brian Lenz. That is your field, and man, what a huge field it is. Time for driver interviews, though. And the first driver we're going to chat to is once again Ian Joyner. It's almost a perfect mirror image of your results at Mosport there, finishing on the podium in the first race, but winning races 2 and 3. Once you got there, it was just a case of everyone scrapping behind.
Yeah, it was. It was eerily similar. I didn't intentionally. I think I had a slightly better qualifying this time, but just didn't get the draft and still ended up. Oh yeah, definitely higher than where I was though. But yeah, getting the reverse grid helped a little bit, and then it's not an easy track to overtake, so. And I got a bit lucky, I think, with Kevin and Brian having contacts. Then I had a gap in the first one. And the second one really was just about just not making mistakes. And I had thank Rupesh for the motivation really to stay focused, because I don't think he's ever over a second away. If you just as long as you don't make a mistake, you're fairly safe. I don't know. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to hear what Rupesh thought, but he was probably sick of my exhaust pipe. But it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's lots happening behind. Maybe it wasn't the funnest to watch, but it's because you're so close. You're concentrating the whole way, and the 20 minutes kind of flies by.
Yeah, it was quite the tight battle between you two, but I think that really highlights a big segment of the nature of this track to me. It seemed like it was really difficult to get those moves done around here. Yeah,
it depends if anyone makes a little mistake, or if you can get tight. I mean, there's definitely opportunities on the straights, but you've got to be tight through the preceding corner, and it helps if it's a little bit like Mosport. It helps if the car in front doesn't have draft. If the car in front's got draft, it's much harder because because obviously they're just getting draft as well. So even if you're really tight to them, they can easily pull away. But if someone's not in front, you definitely got a chance as long as you can stay close to them. But it's surprising how it's quite a difficult technical track. I think people earlier in the week were saying it was difficult to hit Kane's target times, but I think once anyone got on top of it, it was surprising how close it all was. I think there's probably no more than a tenth between, probably close to the top 10. I think in terms of clear air pace.
Yeah, a close race, a tight race, but in the end, you get the most points out of it all once again, and that should extend your championship lead slightly coming into round 3. So congratulations for that, Ian. We'll be chatting to you next week, I'm sure.
Thanks both. See ya.
Ian Joyner there with 2 race wins again on the board here at Oschersleben. Daniel, I understand you've caught up with Leon Bentbelsen.
Well, Leon, yet again, bringing the best cheerleading squad we have here on Pit Road Production. Certainly had the likes of Tessa, Orpham, and indeed Fluja making an appearance as well. And you certainly did them proud today. Podium every time you took to the wheel. Certainly a 2nd and 2/3. How do you feel right now, Leon?
Thanks, guys. And a big shout out to the fans cheering me on, getting me on the podium. Yeah, it was a crazy race. I mean, sweating carrots again. They're all over the place. It's crazy.
It definitely looks like you're working very hard indeed. Certainly some good battles in the mid-pack here as well. But it's fair to say, how are you finding it now we've got even bigger splits? Certainly you find yourself at the front of the pack, but are you finding with the bigger splits you're getting more competition, indeed more opportunities here to battle it out with your fellow Academy students?
Yeah, it's fun as always. I mean, I can see everybody stepping up their game. You know, you guys, Pit Road Production, Almeida Academy, everyone is excelling. So it's really fun to see how you guys and we all are moving up.
Well, certainly it is an absolute pleasure as always to have you here in the interview booth. But we're going to be heading over to Lime Rock Park for the next one. Now, I'm familiar with that track, certainly. It's not actually that far from me. Not had the pleasure of going there in real life just yet. But certainly Lime Rock, 30-something cars at Lime Rock. How do you think that's going to go? And indeed, what's going to be your strategy for success?
Try to be the fastest.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man of many words, Liam Bentveld. Is there anybody else you want to shout out for today's performance?
I think I got everyone. Thanks for having me.
As always, Leon, a pleasure. And certainly, we're going to give you a little bit of a bug now. When are we going to see you on a driver cam, Leon? Indeed, let's see the man behind the mastery.
That's going to be a mystery, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leon Bentveld, and secretly, not the Stig, but the Stig's Dutch cousin.
Cheers.
Lovely stuff. Thanks very much for joining us, Leon. We're going to bring Philip Falcon in next. Some fantastic performances from Philip here today. And, well, Philip, didn't get the opportunity to ask you this here at Mosport, but what do you think of the F1600? Seems to suit you quite well.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I was a little worried. I'm not really that great at it, but it seems, yeah, I'm finding consistency kind of race after race and during practice. So, yeah, feels good.
Yeah, there were some very tight battles between yourself and Brian Lenz in race 1. You were racing hard with Timothy Ng and Luis Rivellino in race 2, and Tyler Harker and Manuel Hofer, I think, were and Jeremy Childers as well, were putting the pressure on you in race 3. So you definitely got a lot of experience running side by side at this place. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, pretty tough. You know, easy to spin in a lot of these corners, so just trying to keep it kind of easy on the limit as much as possible, and try not to hit anybody and spin. So,
well, with the club class championship lead, I believe in your sights, in your grasp, coming out of this round, I guess now it's a matter of keeping that consistency up. Are there any tracks on the schedule that jump out to you as places where you think you'll be particularly strong?
Hard to say. I haven't driven, you know, this car in most of these tracks, so I think I'll take it week by week, practice up during the week, attend the pit parties and workshops and whatever else, and yeah, and try my best.
All right. Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck with that, Philip. Congratulations on your results today, and hopefully we're chatting to you again in 7 days' time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Philip Falcon there, your club class winner of the round. And that's going to conclude things for today here, Zippy. Another fantastic round of the Almeida Racing League here at Oschersleben. Looking forward to what next week is going to bring.
Indeed, I have a feeling that Lime Rock Park is going to be nothing short of fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly going to be a very challenging set of circumstances indeed. But that is going to conclude the show for today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. By all means, make sure you hit that like and especially hit that subscribe button. We are indeed trying to grow the channel as well, and indeed grow the new Almeida Racing Academy channel as well. If you're not checking it out on Pit Road, by all means, check it out over there. Or indeed, go see Swallow Almeida's channel if you want to see a little bit more of his antics as well, and indeed some of his teaching as well. If not, become a member of the Academy. Indeed, if you want to go faster, that is the best way of doing it. Equipment is good, but having the skill set to be able to push the car and indeed capitalize on that is the way to go. My name is Daniel Zippy Salmon, and joining me in the production booth today, not only Mr. Reese, the Southpaw Racer Gardner, who I do understand has just released a new Not So Serious track guide on Rutskogen, so by all means, check that out as well. The Southpaw Racer himself, adding a little bit of a different outlook to some of your favorite racing venues. But by all means, we're going to see you in 1 week's time. Thank you very much for watching here on Pit Road Productions.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy.
Where every Every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Oswellia Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Oswellia Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Wait a race, buddy. Wait a race.